After the whole Cyberpunk 2077 fiasco, there's been people acting like every single developer on the planet is as scummy as CD Projekt Red, and a perfect example of this is a video from AP where he claims you shouldn't pre-order Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart because Cyberpunk 2077 was a mess. Now you're probably thinking, what the fuck does Cyberpunk have to do with Ratchet and Clank? Well, absolutely nothing, but for some reason the man who created the fanboy manifesto seems to think they have something to do with each other. So without further delay, I'll let the video play.
Look guys, I'm a PS5 owner, unlike many of you who don't even fucking have one and don't know how to find one.
Yeah, people don't have PS5s because they don't know where to find one. It's totally not because most people have enough brain cells to not pay a scalper $800 for a console which should sell for $500.
But that's besides the point. The point is, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is releasing on June 11th, 2021, and they want you to pre-order.
Holy shit, a company wants you to pre-order their game in order to get early sales numbers and early profit? I really don't know why you're so shocked at the idea of a gaming company wanting you to pre-order their game. It's one of the most common things for developers to do now, and sometimes it does benefit the consumer. However, in certain cases it can backfire on the consumer massively. Although most of the time it comes down to common sense. I mean, it was pretty clear Cyberpunk 2077 was going to be a broken mess as soon as they delayed the game after they claimed it went golden, which if you don't know what that means, it means the game is pretty much finished, and as we now know, it definitely wasn't finished.
They want you to pre-order. They are down here at their fucking knees begging you to pre-order.
God forbid a dev team wants their game to sell. Like, the fuck does he expect them to do? Not have any advertisements for the game and to purposely cause your game to not sell well? I'm sure the executives in Sony would love Insomniac causing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart to be a complete flop.
Every tweet, it's pre-order. Pre-order here, pre-order now, pre-order to get the new Lombax, Furry, whatever the fuck, Rosie the Riveter. I mean, oh my god.
With how he's reacting to an official Twitter account for a game advertising the game it's there to sell you, you'd think he's never touched the gaming industry in his life. I really don't get how a company asking you to pre-order their game is bad. If you're scared of pre-ordering, then just wait for the game to release and then buy it if it's good. This really isn't rocket science. But there's absolutely no need to go out your way to shame people who do pre-order the game when there's no reason not to at the moment, other than pure paranoia.
Where's your brain? Where are your brains? There's no reason to pre-order.
I mean, if you want the game physically day and date, then yes, there is 100% a reason to pre-order, and even if you are pre-ordering digitally, there are still reasons to pre-order the game, like the early unlock bonuses. They might not be mind-blowingly good pre-order perks, but there are definitely still reasons to pre-purchase the game.
You know, and I literally tell you guys to not pre-order, and I'm sure there's a few other smart people out there in the world who also are not pre-ordering, but I mean, you guys just don't want to listen. You guys go to the same fallacy strawman argument that CD Projekt Red are not Insomniac.
How is that a straw man? It's a blatant fucking fact. Unlike CD Projekt Red, Insomniac games haven't got an extensive history of releasing broken games. The only one that comes to mind is Sunset Overdrive, and as far as I'm aware, that's been fixed now. Compared to CD Projekt Red, who haven't released a single game without it being completely broken at launch, like The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, where on console, Insomniac doesn't have a huge history of releasing broken games, and to be honest, I highly doubt Sony would allow them to release the game in such a shitty state after how Days Gone launched. At the moment, there's barely any signs that the game is going to release in a poor state.
Whoa, motherfuckers, don't... Oh. I mean, people use that same argument. They're like, CD Projekt Red aren't EA.
That's because people had forgotten about CD Projekt Red's prior history of releasing completely unstable games and then fixing them at a later date. Insomniac does not have a very extensive history of releasing games in poor state, and over the past couple of years, all their games like the Ratchet and Clank reboot as well as Spider-Man PS4 have launched almost perfectly.
But that doesn't matter. What matters is we're in the here and the now, and many of you do not stand on principle. I mean, you guys literally don't give a fuck. You just fall into the same fucking trap.
If you're this paranoid about pre-ordering a game, then I honestly think you have much bigger issues to solve. There have been no signs of the game being in a poor state like there was with Cyberpunk 2077, where the game was delayed like 5 times and was stated as going gold just before a delay. As far as I'm aware, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has not been delayed once.
Alright? Everyone has the right to be skeptical. Everyone has the right to be hyped. You know, I think it looks good, but they've shown no new footage. This footage right here, it's from fucking last year, August, or June, whatever.
The game is releasing in June. If you're expecting more gameplay, then it will come much closer to launch if it does, and not when we're still months away from release. Most of the time in the lead up to a single player release, you don't see much gameplay because they don't want to spoil any of the story, and this is far from uncommon when it comes to almost anything but live service titles.
And they're begging you to pre-order without showing any new footage. Like, for all we know, the game could be downgraded.
And for all we know, it hasn't been downgraded. There aren't any signs it has been, and let's be honest, the game isn't exactly a visual showcase anyway. There's absolutely no reason for the game to not be able to run on a PS5.
But, you know, they literally just tease this little furry, little whatever, and you guys just love it. You guys just love it, you don't care, and that's a terrible shame.
How is it a terrible shame that people are excited for the game? I mean, this completely contradicts what you said earlier.
Everyone has the right to be hyped.
But hey, I don't know what else I'm expecting from the man who created the Fanboy Manifesto. If you truly believe that everyone has a right to be hyped for the game, then you wouldn't be so pressed that people are hyped for it. I mean, if you're going to lie, at least bother to keep your story straight. It's not exactly hard to do when you have to edit your video and can remove certain parts. I'd hate to see how bad his video was before he edited it.
So I'm just here to tell you to don't pre-order and because there's literally no reason, okay?
As I clearly showed earlier, there are many reasons to pre-order the game, and for some reason you didn't spend the 2 minutes to Google what the pre-order benefits were for the game, but I guess you can't blindly hate on something if you take the time to Google simple shit like what the pre-order bonuses are for a game. And once again, I'm sat here wondering why I'm expecting any sense of intelligence from the man who created the Fanboy Manifesto.
Forget about Cyberpunk, forget about anything else. There's no reason to give them their money before the game releases and is in your hand and is in for consumption and you all can fucking play it. There's no reason. Please, please, I'm begging you, do not pre-order.
Fucking hell, this man couldn't spurge out harder if he tried, but thankfully we have finally reached the end of his video, so with that being said, I hope you enjoyed my video. Don't forget to do all the things YouTubers love to beg you to do, aka like, comment, as well as subscribe, so that I will see you all in my next video.